How's it hanging, guys? And my name is Hamlic, and we're gonna continue with this Stanley parable. So there's still a few endings we haven't tried yet. What I want
Stanley
to do.
thought to himself.
Yeah. Let's talk. So we're just gonna rush through a bit here to
possible?
see if I can find them again.
Surely I was mistaken.
And most likely I'm gonna do the same mistakes again. Let's go back
When
here. Let's
Stanley
take the right
came
door.
to a set of two open. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Well, you
and
say that.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, I wanted to do that. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley
Okay.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
So we've gone that direction. Let's keep going up then this time. And I have been jumping down.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not
No.
your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Thank you.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Who is
She's
she?
been waiting.
Okay. Keep going then. I can take this forklift. It's a dark room. What is
That's
this?
her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. Hello. And the screen went white.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Oh, really?
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What?
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
What?
Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm
You're
trying
a
to get you to
bitch,
see
you know that?
something.
Acting
Come
like this.
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yes, thank you. Well, this is a small apartment.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Is this broken? Press N on the keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
X.
Look at him there, pushing
What?
buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new lands.
This man is insane.
It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Where's my
First,
TV
he
going?
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Spare dinner? Sure.
As he wandered through
What?
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room.
I see where we're going.
with
We're going back to
monitors
the
and
office.
mind controls. And down another was a
I wanna
yellow
go and sleep.
line that
Please,
weaved
let me
in
sleep.
many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
Help me!
And he
Help.
called it the Stanley Parable.
Oh.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing
Until I
beyond hope
died.
that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her. Yes.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Oh no, my
In
desk.
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Go to sleep, yes.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be
Stop it.
anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't
Yes.
listen to me. He won't stop.
I do that.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Screw you!
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How
Yes.
can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button.
Okay.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Did we die? What happened? Oh, we're back here again. Okay. Another office
All
took...
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Screw this.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Yeah.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
We are here.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Who could have
Feeling
guessed?
a wave of
just-
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, go straight through here. Blah, 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 blah.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being
Come on,
held
talk
from him?
faster.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly,
Thank
by
you.
simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the
Skills.
newly opened passage.
Nothing else. It's just skills. You can do that. Okay, let's get down. Oh.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Really?
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
That's when
This
it's years. How many
question would
years to
not
talk
go
about?
unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
Screw
read
that.
Mind Control
Escape.
Facility.
Let's
Although
run.
this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Really? No. We will
The door
live.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I don't want to.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Ooh. What? Okay. What?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Okay, this is gonna hurt.
Perhaps his death
Oh,
was
it's gonna hurt.
a loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Okay.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Oh!
Farewell, Stanley.
Oh! Oh, shit. Oh! What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into
Now we
the
have a new
enormous
narrator.
metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing
Well,
him
obvious.
instantly.
What? We're not? We're still alive? We're still alive. The standard parable.
And yet
Yeah.
it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Was this the room? Whoa.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life
Ooh.
the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the
Stanley's
moment
computer.
he hit start?
Is this? Corridor. Oh yeah, we've been walking here. Nice. 1, 2, and 3. Office computer. Credits. Okay. So, go here? What kind of strange museum is this? Warsaw. And this is that all the way to we were born with a magnificent voice that did blah 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 blah. Narrator email. So bad. Wow, it's kind of interesting to make a museum here. And here's a phone. Disobey, launch, disobey, first year. So we have a lot of options. Whoa, more. What? Can this give us like a hint of where we can go more? Okay, I see exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy
On,
one
off.
another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Yes.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What?
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
I will not
as long
do
as
that.
you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Nothing more than that. It's a splash. Oh, so bad. And what? We're back to the office? Oh my god. Really? I need to hit escape. Well, I'm gonna end it for here because I need to restart everything. So I hope you liked this video. It was kind of interesting, a new kind of choice of endings at least. So if you did, remember to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, remember to do that too. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Hamlic out!